What's up, people? Back with another reaction, back with some more classical, and we're back for the second movement, the Polka, of Antonín Dvořák's Czech Suite. And I'm so excited for this piece. I was trying to remember, is it the finale, whatever. Bottom line, one of these movements, and indeed it's the polka that we're about to listen to, is used very prominently in the live-action version of Nodame Cantabile, a show that I talked about. If you go back and look at the reaction I did to the very first movement of Beethoven's Seventh Symphony, I think I talked about it maybe in all of the movements, my reactions to the different movements of the Beethoven Seventh Symphony. But just to briefly reiterate, it's an amazing show based on a manga which was then made into an anime, but the live action version to my mind is by far the best. Full respect to the original source material, but yeah, I think it's sort of the original material fully realized. And it uses a number of amazing pieces as well as some great incidental score like classical music. But it's funny, it's emotional, it's a sort of tribute to and celebration of classical music. I really, really love it. I highly recommend it. You can find it, on Amazon and eBay and so on. There are box sets of Nodame Cantabile, though I will say the English subtitles aren't the greatest on the official releases, but if you know where to look online or you putz around, just check different places, there are fan subs of Nodame, the live action version, and they are really good. They're much, much better. Nevertheless, the point is, this piece, the polka from Dvořák's Czech Suite, is used very prominently, including in the very, very beginning of the first episode. So yeah, this is sort of the sonic atmosphere with which you are introduced to a show that, to my mind, is basically unrivaled. Certainly if you're an aficionado and a fan of classical music. Nevertheless, let's get to it. This is the Polish National Radio Symphony Orchestra as conducted by Antoni Witt, performing Dvořák's Czech Suite, the Polka movement, which is the second movement of 5. Oh my god, it's Nodame! There, it's just that little bit, but I love that contribution. But this piece moves back and forth between being a bit sort of mysterious or at least otherworldly, and then back to very sort of, robust and bright. If you've seen Nodame, it is impossible to hear this and not think of the show. Literally impossible. It was like that melody was sort of unraveling, and it was finally just the last thread of it. Again, warm and bright and inviting. Almost like a frolic, there's a playfulness to it there. It's just a delight. Again, it's hard for me to separate it from this other piece of entertainment which, uses it, but as much independently as possible. It is sonically delightful. And now it's both, right? It's still bright, but now that it has a bit more tension than it did the first couple times. about how Beethoven sometimes, it's like it evaporates and falls off. In this movement anyway, Dvorak is really like unfolding a melody until it's time for the next section to take over. It's amazing. He's like, no, hold on. One more reprise and it'll really hit hardest of all. Chiaki. I mentioned it before, Dvorak can really write for strings. Perfection. I mean, honestly, that movement just holds together so well. And as I mentioned, it's at first it feels sort of like a dialogue between a bit of mystery and a bit of like bright reassurance, and then there's that moment where it feels like they're sort of merging, and there, I don't know if it was a conflict, but it felt like there was a tension between the two. And then eventually it sort of petered out into more bright, sort of, you know, I don't want to say victorious, but serene, like fulfilled sort of atmosphere. I really love it. One of my favorite movements, but again, this whole piece is great. And, you know, when I'm done with this, we're going to have to do the Slavonic dances. And I mean, there's so much good stuff from Dvorak. I feel like, you know, we're just beginning to open, I was going to say a can of worms, but that sounds unappealing. So let's just say it's a can of sonic brilliance. Nevertheless, yeah, I really do like that movement. Let me know what you think. Let me know if there's yet to come in this piece that you're really waiting for, or if, you know, for you, the first one, the preludium, or this one is the real key. As I mentioned, the finale is great, but this is one that, as I was thinking, this is the one that I was trying to remember. So when I got ready to do this, it sort of dawned on me, like, wait, no, I think it is the polka. And I think the reason I originally didn't remember that is because, you know, you think of the word polka and you think of, at least here in the United States, you know, you think more of like the popular polka music that you see with, you know, accordions and so on, which this is, it may be in the same time signature or whatever, but it's, you know, a different sound. Nevertheless, I really do love that movement. Let me know what you think. Let me know if you're a big fan of Dvorak. I'm really happy to do these classical reactions and get to talk about some of these composers that I've been listening to since I was a little kid. So anyway, I appreciate the people watching and listening. Have a good day, have a good night, and I'll see you next time. Peace.